Hey, future ACA. Yeah, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by as usual. You know, that's our normal greeting, right? So, you're welcome. Please, if you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button. To my returning subscribers, you guys know now. Thank you so much for always stopping by. So, in today's class, we'll be looking at the complete report for May 2024 diet. Please, if you probably stumbled upon this video first, I have not probably watched the previous classes, please kindly do so. In the previous classes, we had done, we have done, like we went through the question, the preceding and the unseen, we reviewed it together. We also had a class on the requirement one. We had another class on requirement two. So this class is just like a wrap for May 2024 diets. So it just shows the complete report. I'm not really going to be explaining in details because we have done all of that. We have done the groundbreaking, we have done the explanation, we have done everything in the previous classes. So you can just check it. I'm going to link up the previous classes in this video. Just check, click the link, or you can just go to my YouTube channel and just search for it. So please watch it serially. I try to upload it serially as well. So just try to watch serially so that you can actually follow the class through. And like I said in the previous classes, that the reason for this video is basically to help those that had issues, one or two issues in the previous diet that I wrote May 2024 diet that had one or two issues, and those that are fresh, like new people that haven't written case study before that just wants to give November 2024 a trial. So this is to help you, to give you an insight on what's not to do and what to do, what's expected of you and what you shouldn't even try doing, basically. So it's going to help those that had issues previously and those that are new now. You understand? So it's going to help you to understand May 2024 diets properly, understand how to break down the requirements of a case study problem, how to basically do prepare a good report that will give you that amazing score that you require. All right, so a quick recap. Can you remember the structure of the case study report? Yeah, try. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Yeah. That's good. All right. So for those that don't know, I'm sure that my students, like those that have been following my classes, those that have been watching my YouTube videos, stating the structure of a case study report is like telling them to read a one to ten or count one, telling them to count one to ten or read ABC because it's very very simple because in our previous classes, we always emphasize that. So if you are new to this channel, don't worry about it. You have joined the success train. So just search on my YouTube channel too. I actually uploaded a video on the perfect structure of a case study report. You can actually look at that because you know the structure of a case study report is the skeleton of the case study report. So all of that things is like more like a skeleton must be formed first. Then you start adding the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the flesh, and every other thing that you use to cover the skeleton, right? So you start including them. So that's just it. So if you don't get, if the skeleton is, if it, of course, the head is supposed to be up and the leg is supposed to be down, right? So if your head is down, your leg is up. In fact, by the time you are done with your whole adding the organs, adding the flesh, it just look very awkward and scary. It look like a monster because a human being should have the head up and the legs down. So what am I trying to say is that the structure of a case study report, knowing the structure of a case study report is the first step to succeeding in any case study examination. So you can check that video. But for the purpose of this class, the structure of a case study report, the first thing you have is your cover page, followed by your executive summary, then your introduction, then you have your body of a report that comprises of the financial statement analysis, financial data analysis, strategic analysis, and whatever analysis you're asked to do. And then your appendix. So, in summary, the cover page is the first page of your ICAN case study report, and the appendix is the last section. That's last section. So, you must follow this because if you check pathfinder time and time again, examiners always complain that students don't follow. One of the pitfalls is that students don't understand the structure of a case study report. So I try to emphasize that in our previous classes. So you can just check that. And yeah, so let's dive into today's class. So this is the first page of your ICAN case study report. This is the first page. So the first page is your cover page, right? So you have your two. In this particular situation, they were asked to address the report to the board of directors of Spicey, then prepared by Osayame. This is your employer, right? So a lot of people ask. Let me just quickly say this briefly. Okay, if it were to be an internal report, what do I write? So for an internal report, down, you can write either your boss or your your departmental head manager. For instance, now let's have an example. For me, no, no, that was November 2023. Yes, November 2023 diets. The question, I think you were John Olaiton, if I'm not mistaken. John Olaiton, you were John Olaiton, and you were reporting to the group finance director. Yeah, I've forgotten the man's name. Maybe let's just say Ade. Let's just say Ade. So perhaps if this was an internal report, this is an external report. I think we have emphasized that in our previous classes. So let's say peradventure, this was an internal report. You understand? An internal, let's say it's an internal report. Students ask, what do I write to be prepared by? So in this case now, you can just say prepared by the group finance director. I think that's something you can do. That's something you can just write. You understand? Prepared by the good finance director, I think. But in this case, we don't need all of this because this is an external report. And why it's an external report, we have said all of that in the previous class. So you can just check the previous video so that you can flow in this class. All right, so you have your title. Your title should be coined from your what? Coined from your requirements. Please don't try to put a title like anyone I like. No, look at your requirements and then just summarize what they're asking you to do, basically. Then the dates. In this particular situation, if you are not sure, I was saying it that the safest thing to do if you're not sure is just use your examination dates. You understand? If you're not sure, just use examination dates if you're not sure. But if there are some guidelines in the examination paper, so let's imagine now that you're writing in November 2024 because obviously we're doing May 2024 diets. So let's say I think the May 2024 diets, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was written on, can I really remember now? It's been quite some time. I think it was written on the 16th of May 2024 or something like that. Let us say 16th May 2024. So if you're not sure of the date, please just write your examination date. However, there are some guidelines that would guide you in writing the dates based on the emails they sent you. I spoke about that in the question review class of May 2024 diet. So if you want to learn more about that, you can just watch that video as well. All right, so this because this is an external report, you have to include a disclaimer. A disclaimer: this report was prepared for Spicy Confectionery Limited. No liability will be accepted in the event of unauthorized use by third party. So I'm going to zoom this in. I'm going to zoom it out. I'm going to zoom it out, but I want to show you something. Now, at the end, after writing all the information you're prepared by the title, date, disclaimer, every other thing that you are supposed to write after writing it, right? Now, at the end of your page, at the end of the your examination answer booklet, just write page one. And you might not write PAGE, you can just write one. You understand? People said, can they use Roman numerals? Just use normal figures, one, two, three. So you can write PAGE1, or you can just write one, two, three, four, as the case may be. But me, in my own case, I just like using PAGE1. It's just sort of what I like doing. So it's very, very subjective. But please number your pages. Marks are awarded for correctly numbered pages. So please number your pages. Yes, the reports is pre-numbered, like your examination answer booklets will be pre-numbered. What do I mean by that? Now let me show you what I mean by that. Now, in this particular case, now let's see. So I want to show you what I mean by your examination booklets will be pre-numbered. So let's say you want to insert page layout. Where is that? Page number. Okay, bottom of page. So usually in the ICAN examination, your booklets, your answer booklets will be pre-numbered. So you can see this, right? So let me zoom this back in so you can see this. So it's be pre-numbered. Now you have one here. So automatically when they are when they printed the answer booklets, you have numbers there already. So but then even irrespective of the numbers you had there, you still must put PAGE one or you just put one based on your preference. You understand? So please number your pages. Marks are given for marks are awarded for correctly numbered pages. You understand? All right, so let's continue. Please, if you have any question, just ask me in the comment section. I would always answer all your questions in the comment section. Okay. All right. Thank you. So let's move on to the executive summary. So the executive summary, just like our previous class where we talked about, we had a class on executive summary. So the video is also uploaded on my YouTube channel. You can also check that. Just search for executive summary. So the acronym OMA, that's the objectives, methodology, and your assumptions. We all these things. If you're what's that about? Don't worry, just check my YouTube channel. Check for the video on executive summary. I explained in details. You understand? This is just like a practical class, all right? So we're still building. That's why I always keep saying that try to watch previous videos before you watch new videos because in our classes we it's like we're building a house. You understand? So if you don't know anything about the foundation and you want to start from the roof, it may be a bit difficult. So just try to watch class on executive summary so you can flow. All right. So you have your objective. So state your objective. This objective the objective of every report basically is to provide decision information to make decisions. Then tell us about the report. This report contains what? What did you do? You understand? Tell us what you did in the report too. Very important. Very, very important. Then after that, talk about the methodologies you use. In this case, we use the ratio analysis, contribution analysis, limiting factor, Ansoff's growth matrix. So tell us about the methodologies and tell us about the assumptions. Now, some people may ask, how did you come about this acronym OMA? I did not come about this OMA is not something I thought about on my bed or on my office chair and just said, oh, OMA looks like a very beautiful acronym. Let's use it. No, OMA, I looked at several past questions, more than 10 years of ICAN case study past questions, and I saw that one constant K that they usually include in their marking. Please listen to this, pay attention to this because this is where your marks are going to be awarded. So please pay attention, please. Now, I looked at over 10 ICAN case study diets, past questions, and I saw that, oh man, in every executive summary, marks are usually awarded for when you state your objectives, when you summarize your two requirements, yes, when you talk about when you talk about assumptions. And if you look at the ICAN case study pack, where they explain executive summary, you see that they also included methodologies. They also included methodologies in the things. Check there are two examples. I think there are about two examples in the case study pack. Yes. Look at the two examples. One of those examples, I don't know if it's one or two. I don't know if it's example one or example two. One of those examples, you see that they included methodologies. So all these things I'm bringing to you were bet forth from careful study, intense study careful. So that's what I'm saying. In my classes, I know that it's very easy. It's on an online class. You can be watching it and be cooking. You can be watching it and be watching TV. You can watch it and be browsing. But please pay attention in my classes because everything I'm bringing to you was bet thoughts from intense study. And I'm not coming here to tell you I think I know. I believe is based on what I can want because irrespective of the fact that okay, case study has many ways to there are many ways to do case study. We have to still follow what I can want. All right, so let's quickly run along. So after stating your OMA should be your first paragraph. Then you talk about your findings. So all those findings that we spoke on, or all the findings that we discussed rather in our requirements one and requirement two classes, talk about it, or the ROSI, all those things we calculated, talk about it. So now how you can there are two ways you can by which you can do this. So you can decide to have a heading. You can decide to have a heading here. Um the evaluation of the financial statement of its rights and Smoothy Chocolatey for 2020. So you can decide to have a heading here, and then in this case now we have the introduction of the diabetic chocolates. You understand? So you can decide to put it under headings, and you can decide not to put under headings. In my previous class, my class on executive summary, I showed you two ways by which you can do executive summary. So if you are in that category that how about we do this, how about we do that, all of your questions, I'm sure would have been answered in that video. So please check my YouTube channel. Just search for executive summary. So I explained it in details. You understand? So much detail. So please in so much detail. So please just check it there. You understand? So let's not drag too much because all these things we're talking about, I've done it previously, right? So let's just keep moving on. Then after doing your requirements one and requirement two, you move to your conclusions and your recommendation. You understand? And your recommendation should be in bullet points, while your conclusion should be in prose, like in story form. And don't forget to number. You can, if you noticed, if you observed, I kept numbering my pages. Page two, come down again, number your page three. Then immediately after the executive summary, according to the proper structure of an ICAN case study report, the next thing you have is an introduction. So introduction, if you remember from our introduction class, we talked about an acronym SCAR. That's your scope, the company details, S for scope, C for company details, A for analysis method, and R for report structure. So that's the same thing we're still going to use in this particular case study. So in the introduction, the first paragraph, you should talk about your scope. You understand your scope. What did you do? The rest of this report was to do this. What did we do? We carried out an evaluation on financial statement, blah blah blah. To talk about the scope, then move on to talk about the details of the company. The details of the company. Please don't spend too much time talking about details of the company, writing lengthy pages on the history. In fact, your introduction, one page is okay for your introduction, honestly. And why is that? We have talked about that in the introduction class. So if you want to know more about introduction, please just check the video. I also uploaded a video on introduction. You can just search for that on my YouTube channel. Then the analysis methods, that's your methodologies that you use in carrying out the report. Also talk about that. Then the structure of your report too. So a lot of people ask, do we need table of contents? You don't need table of contents. You do not need it. But then the only part in ICAN textbook, case study textbook, study text rather, that said that we should talk about anything that said something relating to table of content was where they explained the introduction. They just said talk about the report structure, you understand? So you don't need, there's no time, honestly. It's not like if you do it, you are wrong or you are bad or you lose marks or you fail. No, no, you wouldn't. You understand? But there's no time to even do the things that are required. Why then stress yourself over things that I can't even talk about? Understand? So just a little, oh, the structure covers 5 sections, blah, 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 blah. That's just sufficient. And don't forget to number your pages as well. This page as well. Then you move on to the requirement one, and students ask, must I do requirement one first before I do requirement two? No, and no, and no. Start from the easier requirement, and that's why I said that the first thing, no, your appendix, you have to do appendix first, right? And your appendix is your last section, so you're going to leave a certain number of pages for your requirement one and requirement two. You know, one page is for your cover page, 2 pages for executive summary, 1 page for introduction. So how many pages should you leave for your requirements one and requirement two? That's totally depending. It's totally subjective. ICAN did not specify, unlike where they said executive summary, introduction, blah blah blah. ICAN did not specify a certain number of pages that you must use for your requirements one and requirements two. That's totally based on you. How do I now know? Go through your requirements. When you get your unseen, read your requirements, look at it, and just have a visualize it as okay, based on what they're asking me to do here, how many pages do I think I'm going to need to actually satisfy these requirements? Now if you see that, oh, let's say about 3 pages should be sufficient, leave 5 pages. Why? It's better to have excess than to have what than to have a situation whereby you're looking for how to squeeze down. I want to show you something. So let's say you left 5 pages, right? But eventually you used three. Eventually you use three. So there's something I want to show you. You know that you have 2 blank pages there. Please follow through. Please pay attention in this class, please. Thank you. Now, let's say you have you saw that most likely three will be sufficient, but you left five. Now it's better to have excess. Now you know these 2 pages now will be empty. Just write P C O. Okay, you don't need to underline. P C O. Can you see what I'm writing? You can just put in brackets. Please turn over. You understand? Please turn over. You can do it for the second one too. PTO. Please turn over. So that anybody that is marking your book would know that, oh, there is something after this one. Oh. Do you understand? So is it not better to have excess than to be having a situation? Oh my god, I need. And the structure, you cannot go and put, say, a continue a requirement to continued after appendix. You understand that you want to quickly do continuation? No, that means you have spoiled the structure. The structure must, the head cannot eventually come and come to where the leg is. That's an error. Or the hand comes where, no, that's totally an error. The structure must be followed. So better to have excess pages than to have a situation where you are now looking for how to sort a problem that you shouldn't have even created in the first place. You understand? So that being said, all these things we've talked about them in our previous class, in our requirements one class. Please watch that video if you haven't. So you just include them. Then you also do the same for your requirements. So students also ask, should I do requirements one and requirements two on the same page? Like now, look at this stuff for instance. I actually did this so that you see. Now there's space here. I could have started requirements two here. You understand? But why make your work neat and nice? You understand? So if you have other space, start here. You understand? Don't make it look so complex that they cannot even fish out which one is requirements one, which one is requirements two. And please put headings as well. And if you observed, I kept numbering my pages. So please number your pages. Okay, sorry. Then after that, you move to your appendix. You understand your appendix section. Then you have your appendix one. You can see that you keep numbering. You keep numbering your appendix one and then your appendix two. And so all these things we did it in our previous classes. So you just try to watch all those videos so that you can flow. So basically that's all about May 2024 diet. So this is how your report should be. So to everyone or to anyone that actually did the diet and probably had issues, don't worry about it. God is in control. I'll keep praying for you because I always pray for my students. Everything's going to be fine. Just try to watch the videos over and over again so that you can see the places that you made mistakes. Try to go back to the past question again. Try to study it again by yourself, read it by yourself, try to practice again by yourself so that you can see where you made any mistake. All right. So, and if you'd like to get our books, this first book is Chronicles of Five Diets. So I'm going to put down Chronicles of Five Diets, where it contains the diets from complete solution from November 2021, November 2021 to November 2023. You understand? So, and what's the difference between this and Pathfinder? The difference is that in this particular book, I actually explained or showed the full report. I included a full report from cover page, just like the one you just saw now, just like the May 2024 you just saw now. The cover page, the executive summary, the introduction, everything to the appendix section, the complete report for 5 diets. So you have 5 diets. So if you're able to study 5 diets, of course, you are good to go, right? You are very, 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 very good to go, and to prepare you towards succeeding in any case study examination you sit for. And then you can also get case synopsis of case study. Okay, sorry, this book is just 3,000 naira. It's just 3,000. So with 3,000 naira, you have 5 diets at your fingertips and to help you to study to succeed. Please invest in your future, invest in your life, as you're going to definitely get the benefit. I trust me. It was a lot of work that was put into it. Then this one is just it's theoretical. It contains theoretical aspects of case study and one full report, like an example. And this is just 2,000 naira, and it is basically it's everything on ICAN case study, how the world of ICAN case study, the structure, executive summary, introduction, financial analysis, strategic analysis, and I also included an example using a real life ICAN pass question. You understand? So that's just 2,000 naira, and you can also get it. And finally, the last book is my YouTube guide. Now, for many people say they don't have time to actually watch the YouTube videos, and they want something that they want all my lecture notes, the lecture notes I used for my YouTube channel. For instance, now someone like that is new here that kept saying some things about previous classes. They don't have time to sit down and start watching all those videos because really, there I have about 40 something videos uploaded as of now, so it's a lot. So you don't need, but if you don't have that luxury of time, you can just get this particular book, my YouTube guide, where I all the lecture notes I used for my YouTube videos are included. So you can just watch it, as you can just read it and you have an idea of everything that we have talked about so far. This is just 2,000 naira as well. All right, so if you want to get any of the books, you can just, excuse me, you can just contact me on my number. This is my WhatsApp number, 081 700204113. So this is my WhatsApp number. So you can just contact me on my WhatsApp number, and I would also always be there to attend to you. And basically that's it. So this is my WhatsApp number. Yes, 081 700 2413. All right. So with that being said, so I'm going to wrap up the video here. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Okay. And I'm going to see you in my next class. All right. So, till we meet again. Bye.